Okay, hey guys, this is SD here, checking in. I'm going to be doing some video reviews or match analysis of some Super Smash Bros. Melee for you guys here in the Australian community. Basically, after Shadowloo Showdown, we got another sort of reality check as to where we stand on the global scale. So I figure it's probably about time we start pooling our resources a little bit, and hopefully through these videos you guys can get a little bit of insight into the way I approach the game, and hopefully you'll get a little bit of something out of it to apply to your own game as well. So first off, shout out to Max Walton for not only recording all the videos but helping me troubleshoot to get this set up. We're going to be going into PCG versus Attila, fun set from SSV, and I'm just going to point things out as I go. I haven't really gone through the set or anything like that, but hopefully there's some things in there that we can pick up and kind of work around. So I'll just kind of stop and start as we go. I apologize, my internet's not the best, so we might have some loading issues when we're going back through the videos, but hopefully it's not a big deal, and hopefully you guys enjoy and you get something out of it. Please let me know if this is something you'd like to continue to see, if it's good, bad, anywhere in between. Definitely willing to work on it. So let's go straight into this first match now. So PCG on the Fox, Attila on the Marth. Some pretty nice movement here to start from PCG. He's definitely on top of Attila right now. Nice dash dancing. One thing I really do like here from PCG, if we get back to it here, that was a really nice up smash, by the way. Great anti-air. That's something you don't see a lot, but it's definitely useful against Marth and Peach in particular. When they're coming down from that diagonal angle, you can just straight up beat it with an up smash. Not many people do it though, because it's kind of hard time. But right here, PCG is keeping excellent space from the Marth. Marth obviously looks like he's in a pretty uncomfortable position here, but if you make a mistake or you try to approach him with a nair or something like that, he can dash in behind you and grab and throw you off. Or if you screw up your tech skill or something like that, he can throw you off. So it's actually not the worst position for Marth, even though he has his back to the wall. Also, if you approach willy-nilly here, he can up tilt you and knock you off the level. So PCG does a really nice job dash dancing around and baits out something from Attila. So as soon as Attila throws out that down tilt, PCG's in there with a shine, which I think is fantastic. One thing you can do in this situation is do a double shine, which is going to knock them off the level in a really awkward angle. But let's see what comes of this. He goes for a shine there. Doesn't connect, but I don't have a problem with it. The back air is perhaps a little ambitious. A lot of Marths will catch you out jumping on with a fair, and you're going to get knocked off. So you do have to be careful. But in the absence of a read there, I think PCG's, what he's done there is fine. Misses on his up air, but really solid play from PCG on this first stock. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Attila looking a little bit flustered, just kind of throwing out a dash attack, hoping to get a hit in, and that's probably indicative of the fact that PCG has been on top of him and putting on a lot of pressure. But let's see what happens here. Okay, so that was kind of lucky from PCG. It was a good play for sure. He did the shine stall and waited for Attila to do a fair, but if he jumped a moment sooner, he definitely could have been gimped. So while I think it's great to aggressively edge guard Marth like that, you have to be really careful. A lot of Marths are going to throw out a fair. So that's something that if you know they're going to do, you can stay on stage and bait out. And then it's just a matter of mix-ups. But if they jump up and fair, like a lot of Marths will, you can just jump out and shine. So one thing I like to do if I F-throw Marth near the edge is just full jump over his returning fair and just shine him off. So something you can do, but PCG there did a really nice job on that first stock, just cleaned it up. And Attila just comes down and yeah, basically hits him twice with a fair and a forward smash. So something that's super important in this game is that you avoid your opponent when they come down with invincibility. So in that situation, Alex basically put himself in the worst possible spot by simply standing in front of where Marth is going to come down and just eating a fair. I mean, it's a hard thing to avoid, But yeah, I think he was looking to go to the top platform there, and Attila just read it, which was really good on his part. I think maybe Alex could have been a little more conservative and just maybe jumped up onto the left side platform and waited for Attila to move and then gone up and over the top platform. But as it stands, he eats a couple of fares and a tipper and kind of smiles about it. It's pretty fun. Nice move in there from Attila. Not known for that, but as a brawl player, but I think he's definitely stepped up his melee game a little bit. It's a good read there. I don't know why Alex decided to shorten that, unless he was attempting to bait Attila, maybe to think that he was going to try and platform cancel, but as it was just a pretty horrible recovery. If he was going to do that, I would have suggested just side being towards the middle of the stage at Attila's face, get that high angle so that the jab won't connect. But pressure situations, whatnot. So Attila gets him up on the platform here, does a very nice job with the up tilts. PCG manages to fall down. That was really nice from Attila. Dashes through the shield and gets him on the other side, knowing that PCG was in a position of pressure. So I think that's really good. What he's done two things. He's given himself stage position by going inside him, and then he's gotten the grab to push PCG out, which I think is very good. Here, PCG spot dodges like a lot of Space Animal players in Australia will do on Wake Up, and Attila knowing this, dash dances out and gets another grab. Down tilts him off. The jab there from Attila, I think would have been fine if he was side being, but it probably would have worked. I mean, he's given himself enough time to react here, so I can't really question it. Attila there just gives up too much stage. I think he had the pressure on, and then he kind of gave it all away. So I would have liked to see Attila keep that space around that platform. Let's see what happens here. Alex looks like he got a little bit stuck in some tech skill there. He's gone to the top platform and... Oh, shoot. I've gone back a little bit too far. Yeah, okay, here we are. Now, here from Alex, I don't like what he does here. He just drops straight through the platform with a back air. A lot of Space Animals players in Australia do this. They're a little bit anxious to get back down to the ground, so they just kind of drop through and with an aerial and hope something happens. Now, there's basically the worst thing you can do against Marth, and I think actually Falcos are more or less the worst when it comes to this, because what they'll do is an aerial on the top platform and do an Isaiah drop through just out of habit. And all the Marth is going to look for in that situation is either like a wave dash away to a forward smash, or just bait it out with a dash dance and they're going to get a grab on you. So you really need to be a little bit more patient and pick your spots on the top platform as a Space Animal player against Marth specifically. What I would have liked to have seen from him is maybe a couple of fake drop throughs and waveland back on the platform, which is a really nice way to just kind of get a feel on where Marth's going, what his movement is, and what he's comfortable with in that situation. And if he retreats too far to either side of the stage, you can work your way down using the other side platforms. So as we see here, PCG drops through straight away and gets killed for it. Yep. So all of that basically came because Alex was a little bit too impatient trying to get back down, and Attila capitalized on it really well. Okay, the invincibility, Attila gets away with a triangle jump, gets his chain grab going, which is nice. There from Attila, at that percentage, he's not going to be able to re-grab by just doing a standard left or right grab. At this percentage, you need to do a pivot grab, or basically a dash dance grab very quickly. Attila, I don't know if he knows this or if he simply doesn't have the tech skill to implement it, I'm not sure, but you need to be looking for a pivot grab when they go straight up at that percentage. So it was nice by Attila on his part to that point, but he really gave up a great chain grab situation there by just not enough practice with the chain grab, I would say. Alex looks like he's starting to flub a little bit. He was playing much better on the first stock, but he's still doing pretty well in the neutral, but he's just getting kind of caught, with some approaches that are just basically leading to nothing. All right, he's okay. So one thing about this matchup, I'm seeing Alex approach almost exclusively with short hop nair. Attila's certainly eating a few more than he should be, but most math players are looking for you to approach with this short hop nair as your primary approach. So unless you're extremely good at overshooting, and by that I mean looking at trying to attack a few character spaces behind where they are, knowing that they're going to try and dash dance away from you, which is actually quite an effective strategy. But I think because most math players are looking to bait out a nair like this, your goal should be not to give him any nairs. So there's several things you can do. One of them being follow their movement and just try to shine them with a grounded shine, running shine, which is really, really useful as Fox against Marth because all they're doing is running away, looking to bait out that nair. If you don't give them that nair, they're not quite sure what to do. They're just going to keep dashing, and if you just dash up to them and shine, you're going to get a lot of really good follow-ups from that. Another thing you can do is just mix up your movement a little bit, kind of spot wave dashes when you're a few character lengths away just to kind of bait them out, or at least kind of just get a feel for what they want to do. Another good thing is to short hop in and do these short hop wavelands away, which are a really great bait because Mart's going to come in when he sees the jump, expecting you to nair, and if he throws out a grab, you can punish him accordingly. So a little bit more mix-up game, I think, from PCG in terms of his approach would be good. I'll be out of shield. That's probably not the best spot for it, but I mean, not the worst decision I've ever seen. Attila pretty cautious there. Could have probably just F smashed, but oh, Alex. All right, he had Attila in a pretty bad spot there and kind of gave away position. The fact that Attila had his back to the edge put him in a really vulnerable position. So if we go back and have a quick look here, after he manages to get back on, luckily. All right, so right here, I think Alex is already in his shield. He could have done a number of things here. Probably the best thing would have been just to grab Attila in this situation after he misses. He's almost certainly going to shield, just given the position that he's in. And when your shield is up and you're facing away from the opponent, there's really not a lot you can do, especially as Marth. So I would have liked to have seen PCG here, maybe just dash dance away and get a grab. The back air was not a bad idea, but right there, he tosses out another one. I'm not sure if he was expecting Attila to jump. I don't think it's the worst move, but probably what he could have just done is just wave dash forward and let Attila either roll or full jump, probably back air. And he would have been able to punish both of those instead of just kind of hoping Attila would jump into something. So yeah, there it is. He does do that full jump back air I was waiting for. So if Alex was already here, if he'd already wave dashed back, he could have just full jump back aired. As it stands, Attila manages to get away. Not bad play though by any means. I think that those back airs that he used were actually really good in a lot of situations. Just in that specific situation where Marth has his shield away from you, there are probably a couple of different options. But definitely those back airs to zone were good in a lot of other situations, and I don't think they were bad there at all. I just think they weren't 100% optimal. So. Unfortunate there for Alex. Kind of put himself in a pretty bad situation by kind of double jumping off the ledge. But I guess you got to go out there every now and then.
That's the thing. In the neutral game, it's actually been pretty even in my opinion. But PCG's just been getting stocks taken very quickly.
You can hear Miles in the background there. I decided to leave the audio on in case there's anything I missed. Forward throw there from Alex. I don't know if it was a mistake, but it's rarely a good idea. I'd say he was probably meant to up throw and just flubbed it, but I mean, that's not really going to lead to much. Where the up throw is going to lead to a lot on low percent. Obviously, up air strings, if they DI well, you can do like reverse back airs into up tilt, things of that nature. So probably not the best, but not the worst. Just a mistake. Yeah, he reads the roll, I think, there, which was good, but the F throw just gave him nothing. Alex flubbing, I think he's probably a bit nervous on this last stock. Misses a grab and just kills himself, so yeah, definitely some nerves from Alex, and you can see it in the window there. He's not too happy. Attila kind of just laughing. So yeah, I think synopsis of game one, Alex came out really well. He had a great first stock, and then he started kind of just flobbing a bunch of things, made a couple of poor decisions, and Attila was ready to capitalize on them. So,
one slightly missed DI, I think it was. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I think one missed DI into an F smash and PCG was back to even.
getting ready for game two. I believe PCG takes him to Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah,
this one has a pretty fun finish, which you may have already seen on Give a Cat.
The grandfather of Hawk Boss.
But we'll talk about that when it comes up. Till then.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, there's time for that later. You got when the tournament's on, you still gotta get around your homies.
Yep. So Pokemon Stadium, definitely a solid counter pick.
I really like this.
To be honest, I don't like this stage at all as a space animal against Marth. I feel while you have to play it a very specific way. If you're going to use this stage, you really need to use the horizontal length of it to basically use your laser and bait Marth into approaching you. So Marth's approaches aren't that great. Fairly predictable. He's going to come in with something like a down tilt, maybe a dash attack, maybe forward air, something like that, neutral air. If you're using this stage well, you're going to want to play the run and gun mostly against Marth. So you're going to be shooting him, and then once he gets to roughly center stage, you need to start. At least you need to show him that you're willing to approach him when he comes in. So even if when he gets to say the Pokeball, I like to use the red and the white zone as kind of a an indicator as to when I need to do something. So if I'm at the edge of the stage shooting lasers and Marth dashes in and gets to the red zone if I'm on the left side of the stage, white zone if I'm on the right side of the stage, that's usually time for me to stop lasering and for me to show him that I'm willing to do something. So even if that's just dashing in to this sort of area just past the platform, doing a shine and then wave dashing back, most times Marth is still going to be trying to bait you with dash dances and things like this. So if you show him you're going to come in, he's going to feel sort of comfortable in just kind of dash dancing away and waiting for you to approach. But you don't have to actually approach. You just have to show him that you're capable of approaching. So what I like to do is shoot my gun, let him come in to a certain point, and then dash at him. If he overcommits, you can definitely hit him with something like a quick dash into up smash or dash into a grab or just your standard neutral air or drill. But if you if you know that he doesn't really want to approach you, you can just throw something out at a safe distance and then just retreat to your laser. So until he starts to realize that he has to actually approach you, you're not actually approaching, you're just pretending to. That's that's going to change the matchup a little bit. But yeah, once he realizes he has to approach you, you can basically have your way with him because he's going to be getting very anxious and throwing out a lot of unsafe stuff. You can just do the opposite to what he wants to do to you, which is just dash dance away and punish accordingly. So those are just some general notes. I think that you have to use the stage this way if you want to counterpick here. Otherwise, the lack of a top platform and the height of these platforms makes Marth's combos just ridiculous. They're basically guaranteed. The platform isn't long enough for you to escape once he tosses you up onto it. So, I mean, you're going to eat a lot of long combos if the Marth is competent. So I think this can be a fine counterpick, but I personally don't like it in this matchup, unless you're going to camp. So we've got the camping there. Good by Alex.
So let's see if he can.
He's got the laser. So I guess he came into this match with the thought process that he was going to shoot more lasers. This is pretty good by Attila. Needs to, yeah, he goes, yep, I was going to say needs to jab more than once, and he did so. The reason being that you need to, well, ideally just tipper them with your jabs, but even if you don't, if you jab Fox's side B, he can actually air dodge back onto the level basically instantly because there's not a lot of hits done on the jab. But if Marth double jabs, he will jab you out of the air dodge and knock you back off, which is a really horrible situation. So really nice by Attila. Gets the counter, gets the forward air, tippers it though, which he didn't want, and teched. Now that was, we're probably going to see that situation again a little bit later in this match, where Attila doesn't do it quite so well. But on that occasion, he got the edge guard. It wasn't clean, but he made it happen. Alright, Alex goes in. That was pretty good by him. He assumed Attila would run back and tried to cover that option, but Attila kind of got stuck.
Yeah.
Nice, good
Yeah, he
nair.
definitely does. And this is for him to get through to
Up smash was probably never going to work there. When you dash attack Marth, particularly at this percent, it's very rare that he's just going to fall down and eat an attack. Most times he's going to jump out, so you can do one of two things. I think the best one is just to jump up a little bit above where he is going to be and do an up air, because he's just going to jump into it basically. You can do like a back air or something like that, but most times you're going to need to like double jump to cover his options. So Alex went for an up smash, which was just honestly was never going to hit.
Yeah, he definitely does. And this is for him to get.
So yeah, just jumping up there and up airing just a little bit in front and above him, I think was going to be the best option. And it almost always works because Marth is always going to jump out of that situation. Unless you have a specific read that he's not going to, I think that double jump, covering the double jump is always going to be your best option there.
Bracket as well from Pool, so this is an important match.
Cute little bit of movement from PCG, does a little mini moonwalk, misses that grab, but it was a good idea. Dash attack again. F tilts. Nice edge guard.
All right, let's go.
I think he actually flubbed getting on the ledge the first time, but it was actually the perfect thing to do because it gave him a position where he could grab the ledge with invincibility. Attila spacing out really nicely with those fairs, something he does very well. Plays a pretty basic game, but you know, he makes it work. Just with good, smart moves, smart zoning, smart positioning. There. If we go back.
All right, let's go.
Sorry, Attila, if you're watching this. I'm mainly kind of critiquing this from Alex's point of view.
Those Pokemon Stadium platforms, when they're lowering, are sometimes very good.
So just here, I think it was, where he gets a grab, a low percent grab. Yeah, he gets a grab there. So Attila gets a nice DI. What I like to do in this situation is go for a reverse back air. So you jump up, back air him so Marth continues along the same sort of trajectory. So you can do like a back air into like an up tilt, and you can get a lot off that. You can of course do the up air. It does, but you need to dash forward. So it's a little tricky when Marth gets his DI right, but the reward is very, very high if you can get the up air chain going. Alex here just doesn't get his dash right, so probably something that could use a little bit of work. I mean, that's an easy one to screw up for sure. I think the safe thing to do is go for the back air, but the up air can be very rewarding. You just need to get it right. So if you have like a 20xx hack pack, it's really good for something like that, where you can just practice tossing Marth up in the air and chasing his DI with up airs, because it's definitely possible to do. Hax is very good at it. Just something that requires a little bit of practice. But yeah, the back air. I think my point here is that the back air would have been a very good option, and a much safer, easier option to execute.
Needs to get away from the ledge here.
PCG going for those shine into aerials, which I think are fucking awesome. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to like keep his momentum enough out of the shine to make them hit. But I think it's a great idea. It's a good way to pop Marth back up onto his feet unexpectedly, and you get a lot of grabs out of it. And this matchup really is all about the grabs. Both characters really wreck each other off grabs, so it's really about that. And he gets the up air this time. Misses the second one, unfortunately. A lot of dash attacks seem to be working out here. Dash attack can be very good, but also very bad.
He's realized that he can't just go ham. He needs those chips. You know, he needs a chip and then a big finishing hit.
Good spacing by Alex. Just kind of backs off a little bit and lets Attila come in with the dash attack, which is something he's done a lot. We've seen him use the dash attack on several occasions as his primary approach, and I think Alex has started to notice that, and he's reacted accordingly. I think he's made a good adjustment.
Gotta hand it to Attila though. He plays very well for somebody.
Yep, there it is again. He's just baited out that dash attack and punished for it. But Attila gets the combo going, and we'll see how Alex gets back on here. Went for the ledge cancel, which was probably a good option. If you haven't shown them that you were going to do that, they're probably not going to cover it the first time. And Alex, they kind of stalled the ledge to just kind of make Attila kind of question what he was going to do, which I think was good. Obviously, I think the optimal thing with Fox these days is to do those invincible wavelands, but they're very hard to do, especially in tournament. So I think that was good by Alex. Unfortunately, just didn't quite get the ledge cancel.
Hopefully PCG
And
can
side B
you know,
straight another
this
middle of the
into next
level
game.
probably wasn't the
Still
best
looking
option.
good
I would
right
prefer
now.
to see at that height. Yep, what we're seeing here, a sweet spot with the up B would have been good based on where Attila was.
Oh,
You just go
sacrifice.
straight, which sometimes will work, and it really paid off that time, and it's a mix-up that you need to have. So nice by PCG to recognize that.
PCG now. Oh,
It gets a
crap.
nice Sakurai combo,
Spoke
and
too
we're
soon.
at 2
Wrong
stocks
Dave's
each.
curse.
Alex, there you go. There's that nice kind of shine. He got in underneath Attila when he did a double jump for no good reason, and that's something you have to look for. If Marth is the kind of Marth that's, and Attila is definitely one of these Marths that loves to kind of zone with a full jump fair to like falling fair, you need to be able to time your run so you can get in underneath him. And once you're in there, there's a lot of things you can do to him, depending on where he lands, obviously. Shine being one of them, you can get in and get him with a running shine, which Alex did there. Didn't get anything off it, but I think it was good that he chose
Really nice to
to
see
get in
this go to
underneath
game
him
3.
like
Just
that.
the
Having a little bit of trouble stringing his up airs together, might just be flubbing things a little bit. That's probably the case. Something to work on.
the Hawk high, I feel like.
Nice smash DI by Attila gets out of that,
Yeah, definitely.
which is another
Looking
reason
good
why
now.
the back airs can be good options. And nice string there. Fakes out the Marth killer.
Wow, unfortunate stock there
And
from PCG.
Attila just dies, but I think that was really nice
PCG was
coverage
rebounding, and I
by
think he had a
PCG. A lot
couple
of
of
great
really
move
good moments.
choices to keep that string going, and then the edge guard was kind of clever too. So.
I feel like the neutral game between these two is very even. It's been all about that edge for Attila this game. And if PCG can just stay away from that ledge, do anything it takes DI-wise to just, you know, take damage instead of going near the ledge.
Not a lot to say at this point. Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah,
Attila
definitely.
gets... No, Attila, maybe if he tipped that back air into a fair or something like that. Otherwise, I would prefer to see him continue the chain with up air. He would have got probably a lot more off that. But as it
That fair was
stands,
very
he's going to get
costly.
the edge guard, so what do I know? Nice edge guarding by Attila with those forward airs, for
Okay, but
sure.
if PCG can just
One
stay
thing I
away from
think
that ledge, do anything it takes
Foxes
DI-wise
do
to
a
just,
lot
you know,
is
take
kind of
damage
panic on
instead
their
of going near the
recovery,
ledge.
particularly when they don't have their jump. But the truth is you need to go a little bit deeper, a little bit lower with the recovery.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
PCG here,
That grab
he
was
just
nice.
recovers a little bit too high, I think. He puts himself in a perfect position for Attila to drop down and fair him or reverse up B. Um, I would like to see him up B a little bit lower. I don't think that Attila would have grabbed the edge if he had gone low and gone for a sweet spot. Um, and because he jumped up to this certain height and then started his up B, let's have a look when Attila actually goes out
For Attila this game. If
first.
PCG can just stay away from that ledge, do anything it takes DI-wise to just, you know, take
I
damage
went
instead of
back a
going
little
near
bit
the
too
ledge.
far. So I'll just let this catch up.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Attila goes off basically as soon as he's, well, yeah, basically as soon as he reaches the peak of his jump, thinking that he's going to up B in that position. I don't think Attila reacted to the up B specifically, just thought that he would probably up B as soon as he reached the peak of his jump, which is exactly what he did. What I would have liked for Alex to do is to have jumped, let himself fall just a little bit lower, just to make Attila work a little bit harder for it, and drop down a little bit further forward toward the stage. So that's good. What that would do is it would make it a much more awkward edge guard for Attila to get a forward air or an up B, or anything like that. But at the position that he's chosen to up B, it's just a little bit too high and a little bit too easy. So you'll see better players. I mean, it's a lot easier to do it in NTSC because Fox's up B goes a lot higher. But you see better players like Mango when they know that their double jump will not reach stage height, which takes away their side B recovery. Most times they'll drop very low with their up B to make it extremely difficult for characters that like to aggressively edge guard to come out. So for sure, I mean, it's no good if Attila reads that and just grabs a ledge and you know he rolls on. But I think in this situation he was definitely going to look for this forward air, and Alex kind of gives it to
That
him for
grab was
free by just up being a little bit too high.
very costly. Okay, let's see what PCG's made of. This is a make or break moment.
Make or break moment for PCG indeed. Thanks, Miles.
This is, yeah.
Nice again. But gets nothing out of it till it gets power shield.
Hopefully PCG can make it through to Sunday. I mean, I really want to see a player who's put a lot of time into melee advance.
Alex has got positioning here, but kind of gets too close. Okay, this line on Pokemon Stadium that you can see under the platform, you want to probably stand behind this line when Marth is... Pokemon Stadium is really good like that. It's got a lot of markers, actually. But yeah, you probably want to stand a little bit just behind this grey line, because that's going to take away pretty much all of Marth's options in terms of returning to the stage. So what we see here, and I've gone back too far again, I apologize for this, I suck at technology.
Hopefully PCG can make it through to Sunday. I mean, I really want to see...
These dash attacks are really getting a lot of mileage. Attila
lot of time
probably
into
should be
melee
not getting
advance.
hit by a lot, like as many as he is, but he is. Okay, so when he gets back on the stage, okay, we see here Alex has come in. He's obviously decided to approach at this point. But if you hang around kind of behind, just behind the grey line that Alex is now currently in front of, it takes away basically all of Marth's options in terms of jumping back on with an aerial, unless you get right up close. You can actually, if you read aerial, you can crouch cancel them and hit Marth off before he lands, which is a really good option for a lot of Australian Marths are just going to jump on with fair or nair or something like that. And if you're standing right next to them and crouch canceling, you can like down smash them off and ref smash them off and make them look silly. But if you're going to kind of like play the zoning game, I think you need to stand roughly just behind this grey line, because Marth won't be able to hit you with an aerial. Even if he jumps up and wave dashes on, his invincibility is going to end by the time he reaches you. And you can also cover something like just get up and roll. So you can cover a lot of things there by just kind of standing there with your back turned, ready to back air or ready to grab if he rolls. I think Alex here probably just overcommitted. I mean, there was probably no reason to believe that Attila would take the course of action that he did, but I would have liked to have seen Alex be a little bit more patient and just kind of let the pressure build on Attila here and force him. If he was standing back behind this line and waiting for Attila to act, this full jump is not going to put Attila in a very good position whatsoever. After he does that first jump, I mean, Alex could have wave dash back and back at him before he comes down with the second one. So that's why I think that zoning is pretty important. But Alex kind of just got a little greedy, a little bit anxious, and kind of dashed in a little bit before he should have. And Marth can really wreck you if you make a bad decision near the edge. In this situation, Alex got back to center stage for free, but it could have been much worse if if Attila had just done an up tilt, which with Alex dashing towards him would have knocked him off the stage and put him in a really bad spot. F tilt was actually a really interesting choice there by Attila.
Attila, though, you can't put...
Oh wow, and he covers the platform extremely well. So great read by Attila. I think Attila would be a super good player if he just put a little bit of time into the game working on his movement and his combos a little bit, because his fundamentals, his spacing, his zoning, and his reads are extremely good. So I'm seeing a lot of things I like from Attila. Not a lot that I can sort of pick apart, other than he needs to just get a little bit better at the specific aspects of the game, like melee tech skill. Right there. Bad edge guard by Attila. If he was going to go to the ledge, get up attack wasn't optimal. He should have probably just stayed on the stage and gone for an F smash or a down tilt, but as it stands... Oh, okay, let's just watch this and we can talk about it afterwards because it's kind of fun. Let's go forward. So this was made into like a little Giphy cat. And people on Reddit telling Attila he needs to cut.
Attila, though, you can't put it past him. He beat me to advance into bracket at a tournament pretty recently. And
here we go. Actually amazing there by Attila. Runs through, power shields the get up attack and does like a full jump back air hitting with the very bottom part of the back air, which was just crazy to start with. Gets the jab, and here we're in that same situation where PCG probably up B's a little bit too high, just spamming up B because obviously he's under pressure and he has no jump and he wants to get back in his last stock, and he's already down 1-0. But Attila goes out right here. I mean, he could do anything, but he fucks up really badly, gets up 8 into the stage and dies. And let's just say, nice win for Alex. Shy is pretty excited about the whole situation. So Alex gets a get edge out free card there. Again, probably could have avoided it because he knew Attila wanted to come out just by up being a little bit lower. But in that situation, I can't blame him for being a little bit anxious to want to get back on stage. Attila stuffs up his edge guard super bad. Really should have had that. But As it stands, we are going to game 3, so a little bit more
Well,
for us to look
what are
at
we asking?
here.
What's Alex going to ban?
Um, Anything about you don't like about this video, you do like about this video, please let me know. This is kind of just like a pilot program to see if it's worth me pursuing in the future. So if you think this is totally a waste of time, let me know.
I wonder what Alex banned.
But
I think
otherwise,
it might have
we'll have
been
a look
maybe
at
Fod.
game 3. Attila goes to Yoshi's story, which I actually don't... I don't necessarily think is a great pick. I don't know, it's pretty 50-50 on this matchup. I think
I
it's fine,
definitely
actually,
wouldn't.
now that I think about it.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to play Fod in this matchup, especially against Attila.
Alex screws up. I don't know what he was looking for there. He's definitely flubbing a little bit too much in this match, so there's some technical stuff he could work on, just some comboing, things like that. After he gets the up tilt in that situation, he may have been going for like a down air into a grab or a shine, which is probably why the down smash came out. But yeah, that's just pretty poor follow-ups. I think, another up tilt, an up smash, short hop up air, something like that would have been a really nice way to continue that combo.
I feel like Pokemon Stadium can really be a
Okay,
double-edged
nice,
sword here.
nice. Misses the Thunders, but I don't mind the idea behind it. Thunders combo, I mean, in this game, if you're getting away with it, is great. If not, you have to start looking for other options. One that is really good in that situation is actually F tilt. It's going to pop Marth back up, and you can follow up with a grab or just kind of knock
One
him off
hand
stage if
edges
he's
it
at high enough
closer,
percent.
and that's what Attila wants.
Nice little combo there by Attila. I think Alex's DI could have been a little bit better, like smash DIing away from the fairs, which is
Fox can
something
turn this one
that
around.
not a lot of players in Australia are going to do. They're mainly just going to hold in and hope that the combo doesn't get finished. But I think most of the time, especially against Marth, you need to be kind of SDIing out on the F air and yeah, kind of getting out of that
Still
last hit
staying,
of the
up
combo.
smash, etc.
When Alex lands there after the air dodge, I think he could have been doing shines. So let's go back and have a look.
On the one hand,
He gets
yes.
stuck on the top platform there, which is not where you want to be, and he kind of gets
Is it closer? And
punished.
that's what Attila wants?
So here,
Yeah, definitely.
nice up air, misses the second one.
Fox can turn this one around though. Small stage.
Shine goes to the back air, risky, but Attila dodges through. Now, I don't know if Alex was expecting to land on the platform here, but where he lands, he should just be going for like shines. I mean, I would just double shine instantly when I land here because I know Marth is probably not going to get his shield up in time, and I'm going to be able to knock him back off the level. But as it stands, Alex kind of lands and just moves away from him. So right here, it was an opportunity to keep Attila off the edge, and edge guarding is so important. That's one thing that like has been made supremely apparent to me by playing with Lucky, is that we'll go somewhat even in the neutral game, and our combo games are pretty good, but as soon as he gets me off the edge, he kills me, and that's the difference. So you have to keep your opponent off the edge, and Alex just gives him all this stage back for free here, which you can't afford to do. All right, Alex right there, he got a little greedy with his approach. So when Marth is full jumping like this, you just want to let him come down and do his
On the one
fair,
hand, the
basically,
edge is closer,
from the
and
position
that's
that
what
Alex
Attila
was in.
wants.
He it was a little bit too late to try and get underneath him. It was not a good idea to challenge the
Fox can
fair
turn
with a
this one
nair,
around
which
though.
is what he
And up
ends up
smash,
going
etc.
for. So right here, Attila's full jumping. He's going to come down, and what's he going to do? Basically, he's going to do a fair, like 99 times out of 100. And Alex just kind of dash dances away. He should have stayed out, waited for Attila to come down and do his fair, and then gone in for a punish. Most Marths in Australia, if they miss that fair, they're just going to do a shield, which is pretty bad, but I mean, exploitable. Better Marths will dash away as soon as they've missed that, but you can cover both options with smart movement and smart decision making. But he's too close here, and he tries to nair, and he tries to take on basically the forward air in a position where he shouldn't be doing so. I think he'd be better off staying sort of out here underneath the platform, maybe wave dashing in place to bait movement so that Attila will definitely throw that fair out, and then go in with an approach. But he gets faired. He probably should have got grabbed, but he got away with it.
Ooh, bad luck for PCG. Just a soft up air there.
Down tilt.
Oh, wow.
Uh, so I think PCG,
Etc.
and it's not really criticism because you're probably going to get hit by this most times anyway.
Ooh,
But you
bad
can
luck.
definitely DI out
Up air there.
a little bit better on the throw here and not get down tilted. Once you do get down tilted, smash DIing up is optimal because you can stay above the level. As it stands, PCG falls down a really long way, and he's going to have a lot of trouble getting back from this angle.
Oh, wow.
Counter. but he gets a fantastic angle, so props to PCG for that.
Oh, what a
Really
sweet
nice
spot.
angle. Attila zoning out again with those fairs, and Alex having a little bit of trouble getting past him. He's just not really respecting it enough. And there
Yeah,
it is
Attila
again. He
talking up the
dashes in
guard a
and gets
little
his
bit.
shield up that time, which was fortunate, but he just shouldn't be in that position. And if he is going to be in that position, he needs to get in that position earlier so he's able to do something like an up tilt to punish Marth
He's
coming
feeling
down.
confident by the sounds of it.
Dash attack was pretty poor there.
One thing Attila has going for him is
And
him.
again,
He
he's
is
just, I don't know, I think he's just looking at this percentage. And it has worked in the previous games, but Attila's clearly caught on and he's going to shield a lot more because he has a lot of time to punish. Dash attack is going to pop him up for sure, and you are going to get some good kills off of it. But when Marth's just like dashing around shielding, etc., when he hasn't actually committed to much of anything, it's going to be hard to hit him with it. Unless you're very close spacing and towards the edge, like sometimes you'll catch Marth out of a dash stance with a dash attack.
tournament practice under pressure.
But at this point, it's not paying off
Yeah,
for Alex,
exactly.
so I think he should be looking
PCG
probably
are
more just for like
relatively
a
new
grab or
to
something
the
like that. Now that he's
age.
kind of conditioned Attila to shield a lot when to kind of avoid that dash attack at these percentages, I think the grab into an up throw, up air or up throw back air is going to be the best choice. Really swag movement there. PCG does like a moonwalk waveland shine. I talked to him about it later, and he's like, "What did I just do?" He's very excited by that one,
I
and
feel
rightly
like
so. It
compared
was
to
pretty
Attila,
cool.
don't have years under our belt, you know.
Let's just watch that again for the fans.
Many years of tournament practice under pressure.
Sorry,
Yeah,
let me know if you think I'm stop starting a little bit too
PCG
much. I'm
are
just kind of
relatively
freezing
new
specific
to
moments that I think are of
the
interest, but
majors of
I'm
this,
doing it
and
a ton. Really
definitely
really
think
nice
Attila will
there
have
by
years.
Alex. I think what was very good about that is that he used the verticality of this platform to avoid anything that Marth was going to throw out at him, which could have interrupted an edge guard. So a lot of times at stage height, Marth's just going to throw out a fair thinking he's going to come out and threaten him with a shine. But Alex actually used the verticality of this platform to avoid that situation even occurring. Fell down and shined Marth when he'd already dropped below the level. So that's really good. You can get a lot of great shine spike setups on Marth simply by recognizing what his recovery pattern is going to be. So, for instance, the side B is actually extremely vulnerable. You can just time anything in between those side Bs that Marths like to do to get their horizontal recovery and get them with a shine. Sometimes you can actually just ride one of the side Bs and just shine them if they're far enough out, which is a really cool thing to do. But getting Marth down below the level like that, where he can't actually threaten you too badly with your edge guarding, is a great time to go for a shine spike,
Under our
and
belt, you
Alex
know.
managed to do that well in that situation. Nice cancel on
Anything
the
could
top
happen here.
platform. Comes down with an up air, which I liked in that situation, even
This is
though
dangerous
Attila could have
territory.
probably
Oh
cut it
wow, the
out.
mix-up. See, that damage there is much better than a certain death.
Ooh, Attila goes for a pretty nasty tomahawk.
What do you think?
I don't think he needed to jump behind the shield and do this.
Anything
It
could
put him in
happen
a
here.
bad spot. If he jumped just in front of the shield and gone for it, I think it's fine.
This is
It's
dangerous
pretty
territory.
ballsy
Oh
though to
wow, the
jump
mix-up.
behind a Fox's shield
See,
like
that
that
damage there is much
and
better than a certain death.
look for a grab, but I mean props for trying it. Alex gets the shine off. Marth was probably a little too low there for him to go out for a shine. But if he was going to go for it, he needed to commit a little bit harder. Otherwise, probably just, it's hard to say. Probably just getting the edge here would have been better.
What do you think? What do you think about that reach there, DD? That shine.
A couple of jabs. Tech chase on that platform I think would have been great. Something I like to do when I toss Marth up and he lands on the top platform is just jump up there and wave land on the platform and get him out of his tech chase. And I think that could have been a really good option there. Otherwise, nothing wrong with the nair, but the fact that PCG double jumped into this nair and kind of faded away meant that he wasn't going to get a follow-up. So I would have liked to have seen him do something maybe a little bit more like an up air or back air moving forwards. This, I don't feel, is going to net him a lot in the long
Yeah, I
run.
definitely agree. I think the risk reward was right.
Falls through there again with that really obvious bear, but gets away with it that time. But I don't think it was a good option.
Yeah, exactly.
Does well, gets him off
Totally
stage,
agree
but
too.
misses that edge guard. Unfortunate for Alex, he kind of tried to hedge his bets here. So what he did was he went for a back air when
Yeah,
Marth
I
was
definitely
high,
agree. I
but
think the risk
then
reward was
afterwards
right.
when that missed, he grabbed the ledge, which I don't think he should have done. So here, I mean, this is never going to hit for a start.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't like that really. It's a little bit mistimed. It could have worked, but I don't think that it's going to work a lot. I think Marth's going to hit him with a fair a lot more times than not. And if he's going to do this, he needs to stall a little bit with the shine and bait something. Because even if he stalls down here with this shine and Marth lands on stage with a fair, he could like jump up and up air or something like that. But I don't think that was much good. And then yeah, as we see here, PCG goes for the ledge after after he's basically already missed his chance to edge guard. He's looking to edge guard, which is going to cost him his stock here. He goes for the edge. Attila jumps over him, puts Alex in a really bad spot, and he gets punished for it. So I think after he missed that first edge guard, which I think was not the best edge guard to start with, he needed to regain stage position here and not get sort of greedy going for the edge. 3 stock to 2. Really nice DI here by Alex on the forward throw. At low percent, what you want to do with Fox against Marth, most Marths are going to forward throw you and look to chain from there. So let's see here. So he gets grabbed, which is bad, but he gets a nice DI. So yeah, you want to do a down and away DI. And probably the best thing that you can do in this situation is hold diagonally down and away on the control stick and on the C stick and buffer a spot dodge or a roll. Because what Mart's going to do, he's going to dash in and try to grab you straight away. If you DI it correctly and spot dodge, he's going to miss. And you can get something out of that, like say a shine. You can also roll away, buffer a roll away, but yeah, I mean that's the most common thing that you're going to see Fox do is get the good DI and spot dodge. Better Marths, once they know this and they're playing as better Foxes, are going to throw in a dash dance or something like that and get a grab. So it's all about mixing up what you do out of this. But he gets the good DI, which is a good start. Attila doesn't follow up; he just does a roll. But if he was M2K, things would have been different. That was nice by Alex. He's kind of seen Attila go for a lot of these air dodges. So I don't know if that was a specific read that he had, but it's something that I certainly noticed and covered the option accordingly. So that was really good conditioning and a nice back air edge guard by PCG.
No, it's only Saturday.
Misses his tech there, but
Yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
cost
Only
him.
Friday night.
Sometimes it's good not to take in that situation, I suppose, because Marth is going to look for you taking back in a lot, or even just taking back out. Like Marth can down throw in that situation we just had, and down tilt in the opposite direction, and still have time to grab you if you tech roll in, with the down tilt still covering basically every other option. So what Alex did there was actually not a bad mix-up, where he just kind of landed within range of Marth and did a good up attack. So it was not actually a bad option. I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but it worked out.
Amazing venue, an amazing crowd. Yeah, exactly.
Nice crouch cancel. At this percentage, when Marth goes for those side Bs, you can definitely crouch cancel, and Alex did so. Got a down tilt and got some good damage. So crouch cancel is something that definitely should not be underlooked against Marth, particularly if he likes to do those side Bs. Counter was bad there, should have been jabs.
Oh wow, this could be big for PCG. Oh no.
Goes high. Nothing wrong with that.
If there's one thing Attila has down, it's edge guards. He knows the flow chart, he knows what to do when, and he just takes those stocks.
Nice by Alex. It was good. It was good. He basically waited for Attila to be in a vulnerable situation, went in and finished it off with an air. It is risky doing this with Fox because if the Marth is okay, so Decker, for instance, is the kind of Marth that is waiting for this neutral air to come out. And what he'll actually do is dash underneath using Marth's low dash. He'll go underneath the neutral air, dash back out, get a grab, throw you off stage. So you have to be a little bit careful when you're doing this. PCG does it well here, but you can't always just go in and throw out that nair. Sometimes you need to either throw something different out, stop in the middle of the level and let Marth do his movement. But yeah, I mean, you just need to be careful. Running Shine's a good option too, but he does a good job here to close out that stock. Just something to be aware of. And Attila with these up throw F tilts. That was good there by PCG in shield and recognized that he wanted that Attila wanted to grab him. So he does wave dash away. He doesn't get anything off it, but he gets out of a bad situation, which is really good.
He's taking percentage for it. He's not dying.
Good edge guard by Attila. He's going to draw this one even. Shine, back air, he's in a bad situation. Gets out of it with F tilt, which I love. Okay, so When Fox is pushed to the edge like this, it's a really bad spot for Fox. There's no denying it. But one thing that is actually a really good way to push your way back onto the level is F2. It has a lot of great range and priority. It goes out a long way in front of you, and it doesn't have a lot of wind down, so it's fairly non-committal. And if you can kind of just like push Marth back away from you using F-tilt, it's something that he's not going to expect very often. So that was really smart by Alex to get out of the corner with an F-tilt. Bad side B, kind of went into no man's land, and a bad up B. Should have probably tried the sweet spot. But Attila closes him out there. So I think the general notes we can take from this, Alex's punish game needs a little bit of work. He was getting a lot of chip hits in, winning the neutral fairly solidly a lot of times, but wasn't able to capitalize with a long string or a long combo that was going to put Attila in a bad spot. Attila's edge guarding was probably better than Alex's. Alex got a couple of nice edge guards, so that's something he needs to work on for sure. There wasn't too many specific instances where I could point out slightly better edge guards, but we didn't see any Marth killers or anything like that with the light shield edge guard. Another thing is grabbing the ledge twice to bait out recoveries and things like that. But there weren't too many specific instances where I thought his edge guarding was particularly horrible. It just was probably not as good as it could have been. Aside from that, on the larger stage, Alex had the right idea with Pokemon Stadium in the beginning. He was shooting some lasers, but never really used them to bait Attila in or used them as a tool to put himself in a position to bait and punish. He kind of just abandoned the lasers and went for an aggressive style. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with Rushdown Fox, but I think, as I said earlier, if you're going to play that matchup on Pokemon Stadium, it's something you should have in your arsenal, simply because Marth's punishes are going to be very, very good on that stage, and you need to use that horizontal space a little bit better. So probably a little bit of bait and punish couldn't hurt for Alex as well. Attila played fairly solidly all around. Again, his punishes could be a little bit more optimal, his movement a little more optimal, but I do like what I'm seeing from Attila. So yeah, a pretty interesting set there. I hope that you guys got a little something out of this little session. Please give me a little bit of feedback. As I said, this is the first time I've done something like this. So if it was, too much stop-start, too much me talking about random instances, too much useless information, or if there was anything specifically that I might have missed, please let me know, and we can certainly cover that off. Anyway, as for now, we'll leave it at that, and yeah, I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say about this. This is SD checking out.